Hey there, welcome to the video. Today I'm going to be showing you an easy KDP book niche idea that you can get started on today. In fact, one seller is making an extra $396 per month just from one of these books that was recently published. And the best part is that this book is actually very simple to make, which makes it a great way for beginners to start publishing on Amazon KDP. And so today I'm going to be going through the full process and showing you how to create and sell a book in this niche, including how to validate this niche, how to create the interiors and the cover, how to do the all-important keyword research, which is what you're going to need to get your book seen and sold, as well as how to upload all this information onto Amazon KDP. This is going to be a full beginner's tutorial on how to do all of this. So if this sounds interesting to you, feel free to stick around because I might have something at the end of this video that might be useful for you. So if you're a beginner looking to make an income online or start a side hustle, or you're just trying to find a new niche, well, this video is for you. But before that, hey guys, my name is Jeff, and this channel is all about becoming self-sufficient when it comes to making money online. And right now we're talking about low and medium content publishing on Amazon KDP. So if this sounds interesting to you, feel free to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you can be notified whenever I release a new video. With that being said, we have a lot of information to go through. Let's get right to it. So what are we talking about today? Well, today we're going to be talking about the gnome coloring book niche. And the reason that I chose this niche today is because this is a great way to get started creating a simple coloring book in a niche that's getting increasingly popular with customers. Now, before we get started with all of this, if you don't already have a KDP account, you're going to want to head over to the KDP website and create a free account. And once you've successfully done that, all you have to do is enter your tax information and then you'll be able to start publishing. Now, the very first thing that you want to do when you're publishing on Amazon KDP is your niche research. And what do I mean by that? Well, I mean finding out if the niche that you want to get into, so for example, this gnome coloring book niche that we're talking about today, is something that's going to be worth it and something that's ultimately going to be profitable. In other words, this is called niche validation. And on top of that, you're going to want to find the keywords that's going to go into your title, your subtitle, and the back end keywords that's going to give you the best chance at ranking your book on the first pages of Amazon so it can be seen and it can be sold. Now, here I am on Amazon and I did a search for gnome coloring book. And the very first thing that you're going to see is this purple bar right here. And this is a free extension that I use that helps me with my niche research. It's called Titans Quick View and it comes from Self-Publishing Titans. So if you want to use this so you can see the same information that I'm seeing, feel free to go to the Chrome Web Store and download it for free. And basically, it's going to give you things like a niche score as well as total results, because Amazon sometimes doesn't give you the total results. It gives you the exact match of this keyword that's being used in the book's titles. It also gives you more information such as the average bestsellers ranks, lows and highs, average reviews, lows and highs, and average price, lows and highs. But the very first thing that I look at when I'm getting into a niche is the search results. And right here, we're seeing 741 results. Now, when I'm trying to validate a niche and see if it's something that's profitable, I personally look for three specific things. Number one, I like to look for search results that have about 1,000 or less, because this is going to tell me that the competition is not so high for this niche and more specifically, the keyword that I'm searching. Number two, I like to look for 3 KDP books that all have a BSR or a bestsellers rank of 300,000 or below, because this is going to tell me that the books are selling in this niche, which means that there is demand for this type of book. And number three, I like to look for a niche score that's provided by the plugin that I'm using that has a score of 50 and higher. So we can see 741 results is below the 1,000 that I'm looking for. So that satisfies that first step. So that's a good sign. Now, when you're doing your search, you want to make sure that you're searching in all departments as opposed to books. I know it's counterintuitive, but 95 out of 100 times, your customer is going to be searching in all departments. And so that's where you want to stay. Now, the next part is to go ahead and scroll down the first page here to see if there's 3 books that have a BSR or a bestsellers rank of 300,000 or below. So if we start scrolling, we're going to go ahead and disregard all of these sponsored products right here, because this is where people are paying to get to the top of this search term. So the first one is this one, but as we can see under the publisher name, that this is not a KDP book. And how you would know that is if it says independently published. And since this doesn't say that, we know that this is not a KDP book, and this is not a book that we're going to be competing against. And so we move on to the next book. And this book is the same story, so we move on. Now, this book right here is independently published, and it has a ranking of 60,456. So this is one book. Now let's go look at some other books here. We have this book independently published right here with a ranking of 74,000. So that's book number 2. We have another book right here independently published that has a ranking of 219,000. So that's book number 3. So we've already satisfied our second step, but let's go ahead and look through the rest of this first page to see how many more books are selling well. We have this book right here at 17,000. This one's at 60,000, 170,000, 149,000, 267,000, 192,000. So we can see there's a lot of demand in this niche because a lot of books are selling. And with a niche score of 69, that's above the 50 that I'm looking for. So this niche, in particular, this keyword right here, is starting to show a lot of potential. So let's go ahead and dive deeper into one of these books that are doing well. So let's go ahead and look at this one right here. This is a Halloween gnomes coloring book, which is actually a great time to start producing these types of books for the fall season and Halloween season. And as we can see, this was published back in 2022. So it's been a couple years. It has a 4.5 out of 5 rating and 60 ratings overall. So this book is actually doing pretty well. You can see this is 8.5 by 11 inches and there's 30 detailed images on here. So that's about 62 pages, not a very big book. And it's priced at $6.89. If we go ahead and look at the sample, we can see this is the type of interiors this book has. Here is the back cover with 4 more pages of the interior. So if we go ahead and take the BSR of this book and plug it into a sales calculator to see how much it's estimated to be making, we can see that it's making about 5 sales per day, which is 150 units per month. And that's about $13 a day and $396 per month. Now, you might not be thinking $396 per month is a lot of money, but looking at how simple this book is, and I'm gonna show you how simple this type of book is to make, it's actually a lot of money because this is just from one book. And you could be making dozens of these books, hundreds of these books, thousands of these books, and those royalties can all add up. And the best part about this is actually passive income, because for the work that you do one time, once it starts selling, it could sell day after day, year after year, month after month, and it'll continue to sell without you having to do additional work. Now, I found another gnomes coloring book that I think would be perfect to show you how to create this type of book. This one is the Bold and Easy Gnomes Coloring. And as you can see with the images here, how simple it is. So I think this is the perfect example in showing you how to make this type of book. Now, in order to create this type of book, I'm going to be showing you how to do it using 2 of my most favorite tools and resources, which is Canva and Creative Fabrica. And I'm going to show you how easy and simple it is to put together this type of book. And you could be done and completed with this book, ready to upload onto KDP within 24 hours, right after you're done watching this video. Now, if you don't already have a Canva account, you can go ahead and get one for free. However, if you do want to create these types of books and you want to make this a side hustle, you might want to consider upgrading in the future to this Canva Pro. But for the purposes of this example, you can use the Canva free. So go ahead and sign up if you haven't already. So once we're on Canva, we're going to want to start creating our design. And we want to do that by first selecting our size. And for this one, we're going to go ahead and do an 8.5 by 8.5 inch book, because if you remember, this book right here is an 8.5 by 8.5 inch book. So that's the book that we're trying to replicate. And so let's go ahead and create this design. And as you can see, here is our page, and now we can start creating. So the very first thing that we need is our interior template. And so the place that I like to get my interior template from is a place called Tangent Templates. Now, Tangent Templates is not a free tool. It is paid. However, this is the only place that I like to get my interior template from. I know KDP has their own tool to do this. However, it's never worked for me, so I don't actually use that. But here on Tangent Templates, I'm just going to go to this KDP helper right here, and I'm just going to put in all my details for the book. So this is a paperback. This is going to be an 8.5 by 8.5. And for this book, we're going to be doing maybe 60 pages, and then interior bleed no, with the paper type is white. So if we click continue, you can see it gives us the paperback cover, right? This is the cover template as well as the interior. So for right now, we need the interior template. And so I'm going to go ahead and download this one right here, and I'll meet you back on Canva. So here we are back on Canva, and you can see I have a left side and a right side. So when you're doing these books, the very first page is gonna be your right side. So we're gonna need the right side here, and we're just gonna drag it onto here. You're gonna see this left purple bar right here is a little bit thicker than the right, because this is where the spine is. So if you can imagine this book right here and how you open it, well, this is gonna be the first page. The second page is gonna be the back side. I'm gonna show you how it looks like. So you basically want to line it up to the corner and then drag it to the other corner so it fits like that. And now you have your template, and you want to stay away from these purple edges right here. This is the reason why we want to use this template. Now, if I add a second page, so this will be the second page, I'm going to put on that other one. So this is for the left side. You're going to see on the right side is thicker than the left. And so you just line it up in the corner, drag it to the other corner, and then you're done with that. And what I like to do is I like to use the transparency and pull it all the way down just so I can barely see it, which is about 20%. And then I can lock it. You can lock this right here so it doesn't move. And you can do that the same for this page as well. So let me go do that real quick, put it to 20 and then lock it. And so now we're ready to start building. So with the first page, what I typically like to do is put a belongs to page right here. So if we head over here, click on text, add a heading right here. We can type in this gnome coloring book. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and make it one line like that, make it a little bit smaller. And I'm gonna just try to fit it here. This gnome coloring book belongs to. And what we can do is we can go ahead and use an effect and use this hollow feature right here. Now we want to go ahead and change the font. And so here you can go and look at these categories. And there is one here for, let's say, a comic or a school. If we go ahead and look into comics here, we can try to find something that we like. So let's go ahead and use this one right here. And along with that, you can go back to effects and you can change the thickness of this. And so this is 50, but maybe we'll put it up to 70 like that. And then we can resize it. So we can just make it a little bit bigger. So this gnome coloring book belongs to. And then what we want to do is we want to add an element, a line on the bottom here, and we can just kind of make it longer and just put it like this, and we can bring it down to somewhere like that. And you could be done with this first page if you wanted to. You could even add some characters here, which we can do later on. But this is basically the first page. And then now you get to the second page. Now, since this is the backside of the page, I don't want to start my actual coloring book page here. So this is a good place to add something else. You could put a test page. You could put something like that. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go and duplicate this, bring this down here. And I'm just going to write here, test page. So this is where the customer can test out their whatever they have, their markers, their crayons, their coloring pencils. And all I want to do is just look for a circle here and just put a bunch of circles here and kind of just line it up. I'm just going to keep it right here. And I'm just going to duplicate this until I have it filled out throughout the page. I'm going to go ahead and make some changes here. I kind of wanted to space them out a little bit more. So all I did was I highlighted the row just like this. And then I hit position and then tidy up, and it just evenly spaced it. So that looks a little bit better. And so now we have the test page, we have the belongs to page. Now what we can do is you can go ahead and duplicate this page and then move it to the bottom because it already has the template. So I'm going to go ahead and move this to the bottom here. And then we're going to go ahead and delete this. So now this is going to be our first coloring page. Now the next part is to actually get the graphics that go inside of these interiors. And for this part, I'm going to use Creative Fabrica because it just allows us to have access to millions and millions of elements and graphics that we can use to create this interior. Now I'm here on Creative Fabrica and I did a search for GNOME clip art coloring. And as you can see, there's just a bunch of options here to choose from. And so basically the name of the game is just to look for some clip arts here that's going to go great with the type of book that we're making. So let's go have a look. So any of these could actually work, but I'm going to go ahead and look at, now this one right here is cool because it has the colored in version, which we could use for the cover, as well as the black and white version right here, just the outline of the actual gnomes. And this kind of fits the type of book that we want to make. So once you found something that you like, go ahead and download it. All right, so back here on Canva, and I've downloaded the GNOME Lemon coloring clip art. And so you can see with these folders, this is the coloring version. And so if we look at it, we can see that these are the colored in ones. This is going to go great for our cover. And then this one right here, I want to go open the PNG folder. And this is where we can start creating our interiors. And so as you can see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 gnomes in here. So this is going to be good for 6 pages and you're going to need more clip art. And so all you have to do is go back to Creative Fabrica, find more clip art that's similar to this, and just keep adding it onto your interiors. And so what I want to do is I want to grab this one, for example, and I'm just going to drag it onto my page and it's going to show up right there. And then I'm going to just make it a little bit bigger and we could call this good right here. But I want to go ahead and make it a little bit more original. So if we go back to that folder, we're going to see certain elements in here, like all of these lemons right here, that we can add to the page to make it a little bit more unique. And so for example, let's go ahead and grab this one right here and just plop it onto the page and just make it a little bit smaller. What we could do is we can make this gnome a little bit smaller like this. We can kind of put it on the page, but near the bottom, and we could put the lemon right there. And then let's go ahead and grab this one right here. And let's put this on the other side right here. Let's go and work on this a little bit. And let's put this here. And I'm going to flip this and make it like that. And as you can see, here is one simple coloring page. It doesn't need to be that fancy because this type of book is just a very, very simple book. But let's go ahead and make another page. So for this page, I'm going to duplicate this previous one right here, and I'm going to move it to the bottom of the last page. And then we're going to delete all of this like that, and then open up this. So for this one, let's go ahead and choose a different gnome character. And let's go with this right here. Let's put this guy right here. And then what I want to do is I want to go look through here and see what else we can do. Maybe we can do this one right here. And so if we make this guy a little bit smaller, let's go ahead and work on this and put it up here. Maybe we can duplicate it. And then maybe we can rotate this some like this and then make this bigger. And let's say that is a second page. And as you can see, I am keeping within this margin right here. This is how you ensure that your book will be published correctly, is if you stay within these margins. Now, let's say I have another idea, and let's say to add a little bit more flair to it, I want to add some words. So for example, instead of this banner up here, let's say I want to add words. Let's say I want to grab this guy right here and I want to put it right here and I want to just add words. Let's say gnome related words onto the page that people can color. Well, for the first one, let's just say, let's put lemon here and let's go ahead and move this down and move this down. And I'm just going to make this bigger and it'll be another coloring element that the customer can color in. And this is something that I don't see a lot of people doing with this type of book. So let's go ahead and do that. And then just rearrange this lemon over here. And let's put this guy something like this, and that looks a little bit better. So let's go ahead and do that to the next page. And for this one, we can type in something like summer. You can put any words that you want. I would suggest to put words that are related to the type of book that you're creating, but let's go ahead and put summer right there. And let's arrange everything like this. And why don't we go ahead and just make this smaller and put it right underneath the word summer. So it looks something like that. So that's a little bit better. So we have our first page, we have our second page, and all we would need to do is to create the rest of the pages using this method of just grabbing the elements that we have and putting it together in a way that is unique and that will look good to the customer. Now, one thing that we want to change is that we actually want the backside of this page to be blank. So make it the blank page, and then the next page after that is the coloring page, and then the blank page, and so on and so forth, just like that. And as you can see, I've created a few more pages right here. And once you're all done with your interior, it should look a little something like this. This one is 60 pages. And for the purposes of this tutorial, I just went ahead and copied and pasted the same ones that I've been creating here. But we have 4 unique images right here. So now once your book is all complete like this, the next thing that you want to do is you want to take away the templates on the back here. So in order to do that, what you want to do is start from the beginning right here, and you want to unlock it by clicking up here and then clicking it again. And this will allow you to delete it from here and just be gone with it. And just so I'm going to do that with every single one here. So now once you have your book complete like this, you've deleted all of your template pages and it looks just like this. It's ready to go. All you want to do is you want to go ahead and click share right here, and you want to download this as a PDF print. And then you want to go ahead and flatten the PDF and then make sure it's all pages. And then you want to use CMYK, but this is only if you have the pro version. If you only have the free version, you can use RGB, that's completely fine. But ideally you would want to use CMYK, and then go ahead and download this. And then now we're going to go on and create the cover. Now, in order to create the cover, we're going to need the cover template. And so there's 2 ways that you can do this. I'm already on Tangent Template, so I'm going to download it straight from here. But you could also go on KDP's website where they have the exact same thing. So if you search up cover calculator for Amazon KDP, you're going to be taken to this page right here where all you have to do is you put in all your information. So this one's paperback, black and white, paper type is white. Reading direction is left to right. Measurements is inches. Interior trim size is 8.5 by 8.5. And your page count, which is 60. And then now all you have to do is calculate the dimensions. It gives you the exact dimensions here, but you can also just download the template right here and just upload that back onto Canva. So for the paperback dimensions, we're going to have to use this one right here, this overall dimensions. So we're going to have to build a page that's 17.385 inches by 8.750. This is going to incorporate the spine as well as all of these outer borders right here, everything, to be able to create this cover correctly. So let's go ahead and do that on Canva. So on Canva, so the width was 17.385 and the height was 8.75. And then let's go ahead and create these dimensions right here. And as you can see, this is where our cover design will be going on. And so if we go ahead and grab this right here, we're going to go ahead and drop this into the back right there. And so the one that you want to use is the .png. So once again, just put it to the corner and then drag it all the way to the end right there. And then what you can do is same thing. You can put the transparency all the way down until you can barely see it. And then you can lock it. And so now we're good to go. Now we can start creating this cover. So now that we have the template all set and done, we're going to work on our front cover. And the front cover here is going to be this one on the right. And then the left side right here, this is going to be the back cover. Let's go ahead and start working on the front cover. And so let's go and open up that folder of gnomes that we have. So that's this one right here. And let's go to the coloring ones. And I'm going to choose the PNG and I'm going to go into gallery here. And then we're just going to go and upload all of the gnomes. Let's go ahead and upload all of the gnomes on this page. So I'm going to highlight all of this like that, and I'm going to upload it right here. And then now that it's here, I'm going to go ahead and shrink them a little bit. and then just space them out evenly. So there's 3, there's 6. So space them out evenly. Now what we want to do is go ahead and grab our text font from the other one right here, which was Bobby Jones. So I'm just going to copy this, bring it over here, and we want to put in our title. So our title for this one is going to be Gnome Coloring Book. And so we're going to move this here, and I'm just going to make it as big as I can and put it right here smack dab in the center. And then what I want to do is I want to copy this again, put it right here. And then this one, I want to type in bold and easy. And for this one, I want to take away the effect and keep it like that and then make it smaller. And I just want to put it on top like that, just a little bit smaller. And then I'm going to highlight both and then drag it so both of these are now in the center. And let me move myself so you can see what's happening. Let's go over here. All right. Now we just want to rearrange these gnomes, and I'm just going to put them like this. And we can even rotate some of them like that if we so felt inclined. And then so this is the basis of the front cover. All we have to do is put a background color, which we'll do at the very end. But let's go ahead and focus on the back cover. Now, typically on the back cover is where I like to highlight or show off some of the interior pages. And so let's go ahead and do that. Let's go back to our previous project here, our interiors, and I'm going to download all 4 of the pages that I created. So this one you can either download in JPG or PNG, but I'll just do JPG for this one. And then I'm going to do just the first 4 pages. There you go. And then download. Okay, now it's right here. So go ahead and put all of those on the page like this, and then highlight them all, move them over, make them smaller. And then now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add an effect on them. So if you do edit image and you click right here, see I'm in the way. Let me move myself up here in the corner. If you click on shadows here and you do glow, you can get this type of glow right here, which would work if that's what you want. The other way that you could do this is you could create an outline right here. And so this is another way if that's what you want. And so I'm feeling the outline. So let's go ahead and choose the outline for all of these. Now just arrange them on the page. See, I might not be able to fit all 4. So one of them has to go. So I'm thinking we're going to go ahead and get rid of Summer. I'm sorry, Summer, but you're still in there. Now go ahead and rearrange them however you feel, just so it looks good. And so I've arranged them like this, and keep in mind that the barcode is right here. This is where it's gonna go. And so you do not want to cover this with any kind of elements or images or text or anything that you don't want to be covered by the barcode, because the barcode will hide whatever you have on right here. And so the last part, either you can delete this template or you can just put a square box and put it over like this and position it to the back like that. Put one forward. And so you can see this is what it's looking like. And we can mess around with this color to make it pop out a little bit more, because I want these guys to pop out. So maybe we'll color it something like this. And another thing to keep in mind is we have this spine. So one thing that we can do is we can put a square right here or a rectangle. So if we went ahead and did that. So if we zoom in right here, this dashed line is where the fold will be. And so what we can do is we can just cover it so that when the book is folded, it has a nice solid color right there. And just do your best like that. And then just drag it all the way down here. And then let's go ahead and zoom out a little bit. And let's go ahead and pull this up. So it could look something like that. Now what you want to do is you want to go ahead and delete the template here. So go ahead and unlock it and go ahead and delete it like that. And then you can pull this up like so. And then another tip is if you're trying to do something like this, where you're going to position it to the front, because you want to make a little bit more of a depth effect to it, like so. Keep in mind that usually KDP is going to reject it because they don't want anything covering the title. So your safest bet is just to keep away from your title. You can put it as close as that if you wanted to. You could do something like that. But for me, I'm just going to keep it up here. So just keep that in mind. Now all you would need to do is click on share, hit download. You want to download as PDF print, click here to flatten PDF, and then choose CMYK if you have it. If not, you can choose RGB and then go ahead and download it. Now this is our complete cover. So we have our interior right here. That's all ready to go. We have our cover right here. And so now the next part is to do our keyword research so we can go ahead and create our title and our subtitle for our book. Now, if we go back onto Amazon, the way that I like to do my keyword research is just by using the main keyword for our book. So that would be gnome coloring. As you can see, even with gnome coloring book, you have all these suggestions that pop up. So basically, these are the ones that I would put onto a list, onto a spreadsheet, and just collect. And then I will do analysis on these keywords later. But if I just took away book right here, you can see that Amazon gives us a bunch of different suggestions. And so this also will go onto the list. And that is the name of the game, is you want to create a list. And I like to use a spreadsheet and just write down and copy and paste all of these keywords onto there so that we can analyze them later. And so if we go ahead, if you have the Self-Publishing Titans extension, you can go ahead and click right here, this T, and it's going to bring up more keywords right here that you can possibly add on to your list to go ahead and analyze later. So as you can see, you can add all of these words onto your list. And so the next thing that I would do is I see a lot of book, coloring book here, and even activity book right there. So I'm just going to put these in and then do the same thing. I'm going to add all of these onto my list. And then I'm going to go ahead and use the word for. This is a word that I like to use in all my searches because it's just basically going to ask who for, like what kind of coloring book, who is it for? And so this one you can see is for adults, for kids, for seniors, Easter, for teens, for kids ages 8 to 12. So these keywords will also go on my list. And you could even go a step further and go through the alphabet. So you can just type in A and see what comes up. You can do B and see what comes up. And you can also put this on your list. You can go C, D, E, so on and so forth, and put all of these on your list. Another one that I saw was activity. So I'm going to go gnome coloring activity. So I get 2 right here. So these 2 can go on the list. And also what I like to do is go through the books here on the first page and see what kind of titles and subtitles they have and what kind of keywords are included in there. And so you can see here we have Christmas gnomes, we have Halloween gnomes, garden gnomes, whimsical gnomes. So we can add all those. So if we try garden gnomes and see what comes up, you can see that there's a bunch here, but we have to kind of be more specific. So let's type in coloring and you can see there's a few right here, garden gnomes coloring. Let's try whimsical. As you can see, there's a few right here. And let's try summer. And you can see there's a few right here. And so this is the name of the game, is to just basically try to find as many keywords that's related to your book, add them to your list, and so that you can analyze them further. And this will help you. So the larger the list that you have, this will help you in creating a title and subtitle that has all of these targeted keywords. And so when you're done creating your list, it should look a little something like this. As you can see, I have a spreadsheet here. I have the keywords right here. I have the search term. I am in the process of going through all of these right here. This is the 3 under 300,000 BSR. So I basically answer if there's 3, yes. If there's not 3, then I say no. The average BSR on the first page, that's provided by that plugin. And the niche score that's also provided by the plugin. And so this one is just a short list, but this one's about 70 keywords. And so your list is gonna be like this, maybe even longer. And what you wanna do is you wanna go ahead and put all of these keywords back into Amazon search and then write down all of these information that comes up with every single search. Sometimes this can take hours and sometimes this can even take days depending on how long your list is. But this is probably the single most important part of KDP, is doing the keyword research, because if you don't do this and you're not finding targeted keywords for your ideal customer, chances are your customers might not ever see your book. So now that we've completed our interior, we've done our cover, and we've done our keyword research, the last part is to go ahead and upload this book onto KDP. So let me go and show you exactly how to do that. Here we are, we're gonna upload the book details. And so the first part is gonna be the language, choose English. The book title, so I've already come up with the book title, but basically you can go through the list of keywords and find something there that has low competition, high demand, and a high niche score. But for the purposes of this example, I'm going to go ahead and use the title that I already have on my book, which is Bold and Easy Gnome Coloring Book. And then the subtitle is going to be Cute and Whimsical Lemon Themed Designs for Kids and Adults. And the reason I went with this is because I wanted to describe the book a little bit more, and I want to incorporate the theme of it, which is a lemon themed gnome book. And then I also want to designate who it's for. And so I always end my subtitles with for. So for kids and adults, for seniors, for elderly, for kids ages 4 to 8, etc., etc. Now for the series, it's not a series, so we skip that. There is no edition number. And so for the author, so before I used to create brand names, but I realized that's not really the smartest thing to do. And so I started to just create pen names using a pen name generator. So there's a lot of pen name generators out there. You can go and find one and just click it and it'll generate a name for you. And so for this one, we're just going to name it John Doe. And then for the description, this is where you're going to describe and summarize your book so that you can try to get that sale. So here is my description, and this is pretty simple. So I always start off with the title again, and I put it in bold. You can also change the format. You can put it to heading or whatever you want. And then the next part is really just the description of what the book is. And then the next part I always put is the features of the book. So for example, this one includes 30 images. So I put in here relaxing designs, 30 simple bold images designed to help you unwind and de-stress. Then I put creative expression, freedom to experiment with colors and easy to follow designs. And then who is it for? So universal appeal, ideal for all ages, skill levels from kids to adults. And then mindfulness practice. So kind of like, what does this help with? Helps improve focus, promotes mindfulness. The perfect size. So this is where I have a little bit of the specifications of the book, 8.5 by 11 inches. And then the cover. So this is where I say that this is a glossy cover that has a professional look. And then finally, I always end it with a CTA or a click-through action. And this one says, makes for a perfect gift for your loved one. Get your copy today. And so this is really how I do all of my descriptions, and I'll just change it for whatever book that I'm creating. And so the next part is the publishing rights. And so you're going to click right here. I own the copyright and I hold necessary publishing rights. If your work has public domain work, you're going to click here. But since we created everything from scratch, we're going to go and do this. Primary audience. So this is a no right here. So click that. And then the reading age is optional. So this one includes adults and kids, not specifically for kids only. So I'm not gonna choose a minimum or a maximum age. The primary marketplace is Amazon.com. You can choose your marketplace, but most of your sales will come from the .com marketplace. And then we get to the categories. And so right here, if you choose categories, you can go through all the categories, but this one of the categories that we'll choose is in children's books. We can go up here to activities and then choose activity books and just choose coloring books. So this one will be 1. And then if we add another category, we can go ahead and go over here and then we can find one here that matches. I'll just put it into general, and then you can add another category if you want. Now, if you didn't know what kind of category to put it under, you don't have to choose all 3 categories, but this one, we can go ahead and choose another category under coloring books, and we can go ahead and do fantasy and science fiction. And then we're done with this, save categories. And then now it's asking us if our book is a low content book and if it's a large print. And so it is not a low content book. However, it is a large print. So I'm just going to go ahead and click that. And then now this is where we put in our keywords. And so how I personally do these keywords is I'll just go through my list of keywords that I have and I'll start putting them in here. But before I do that, I want to include the keywords here that are for my target audience. So some of them that you want to always add in here is who is it for? So him, her, mom, dad, brother, sister, mother, father. You could do friends, coworker. These are all keywords that you want to have in your back end, because a lot of the times customers will be searching blank, blank, blank for father, or for him, for brother, for mom, for dad, for etc. So it's always a good idea to do this. And I always put in things like birthday, or birthday like that. And then we can go ahead and go back to the list that we have, which is right here. And then all of this, I'm just going to go ahead and look through all of these and start adding in here. And one easy way you can do this is if you go ahead and copy all of this, and then you go to a website. This is the one that I use right here. If I just paste all of these keywords and I do original order, now it's going to delete all of the duplicates, and then I'm left with this. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this, and then we're going to go ahead and start adding this into our keywords. So here are the keywords that I came up with. It's okay if you don't fill in all 7 keyword slots, but as you can see, there's no rhyme or rhythm to my keywords, because what Amazon will do is they will mix and match keywords to create long tail keywords, short tail keywords, and just a combination of keywords to index your book for. So you don't have to worry about the order of the words, because Amazon will do the rest for you. Now for the publication date, we're going to keep it like that. The release date, we're going to release the book for sale now. You can always schedule it if you wanted to. And then click save and continue. Now right here, you want to go ahead and assign an ISBN. So go ahead and do that. And now for the print option, you want to choose a black and white interior with white paper. This is going to be the cheapest option for you for the cheapest printing cost. And then the trim size, you want to change this to whatever it is. So ours is 8.5 by 8.5, no bleed. And then this one's going to be a glossy cover. And now this is where we can upload the interior and the cover. So let me go ahead and upload the interior, and then let me upload the cover. So you can use a cover creator right here that they have, but since we already created our cover, if you click down here, you can upload it straight to KDP. So here it is. Now this last part right here is asking if it has a barcode. And so since we don't have our own barcode, you're not going to click this, leave this alone. If you bought your own barcode for it, you want to go ahead and click this, and then that's something that you would add onto your cover. And then AI generated content, this is a no. So we'll go ahead and click that. If you did use AI generated content, you want to click yes here, and then just answer these questions just like that, as truthfully as you can. This doesn't really affect your sales. This is just the way they're trying to collect data, but we didn't, so click no. And then go ahead and launch the previewer. And then here we can see the print previewer, and this is where the quality check is happening. If you have any issues with the book, it's going to show up right here. But since we don't have anything showing up right here, everything seems like it's good to go. This is what it's going to look like right here. And we can go through the pages. So here's the first page right there. And then the test page, and there's lemon, and then summer, mint. And then we can go ahead and use the thumbnail view to see what it would look like right there. And so if you're happy with that, let me move myself out of the way. You can go ahead and approve it right here. And then the next part would be your pricing. So now we're going to go ahead and save and continue. You can see your printing cost right here. So this is going to be $2.84 per book before any royalties are paid out. And then this is the last step right here. So we're going to go through territories. We want all territories worldwide. The marketplace is Amazon.com. And then this is where you're going to price your book. So typically for this type of book, it's going to be anywhere from $6.99 to $7.99. But I typically like to price my book at $7.99. And so that gives me a $1.95 royalty for this book. And then all you would have to do is just submit this for approval and wait for that from Amazon KDP. And congratulations, you just published your very first book. Now, since you made it to the end of this video, I'm going to go ahead and make my keywords available to you in my Gumroad shop. The link is down below. So feel free to use those keywords so we can help you create this book so you can start making sales and start making passive income. Well, there you have it. That's it for today's video. Now, if you want to go ahead and check out Canva Pro as well as get a subscription for Creative Fabrica to be able to use their elements, I'll leave the links down below for you to check out. If you have any questions, let me know down below and share this with a friend who's interested in creating a passive income, creating KDP books. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and turn on that notification bell, as well as follow me on all my socials at JeffSetLife. With that being said, thanks for watching. Bye for now.